Hello, I'm the Budget Modeler and this is episode 3 of the Trumpeter 148th DKM Type 7C U-boat build. This is a bit of a different build as it is a legacy build, kindly donated by Cornelia, and it was also kindly supported by Salisbury Model Centre and Models for Heroes. Anywho, if you're watching this then please subscribe to my channel, give the video a like and ring my bell, that'd be brill, thank you. In this episode we'll be unmasking, painting, decaling and some electrickery. But to begin this episode we'll be unmasking the bunks, then painting a couple of switches with metallic blue and red. So without further ado, let's crank up the speedy uppy thing and crack on! There we have the switches painted. Now for some decaling, we'll start off with the bunk area, so here we go with that. To apply the setting solution and solvent solution, I'm using Derwent Chisel refillable brushes, kindly given to me by my mate Mark. Cheers Mark. The single band donates the setting and the two bands donates the solvent. There we have that panel done. I had to cut the decal into several parts as it came as one large one and would have been difficult to set it onto the panel. I'm going to pop that to one side to dry. Now for the front bulkhead that has the torpedo tubes running through it. There's a look at the panel we did earlier, and here's the one we've just done, both close enough for government work. So with the decals done, yeah, there's not a lot, it's time for the weathering. Here we're using Pro Modeler's sand to give the walkway a slightly dusty feel. So let's crack on and get it done. That's done, so we can pop that over there. You know the decals? I lied. We've got the torpedo tube doors to do. These have very specific decals for each door, so be careful and check the instructions. There are a different number of lines to denote which door. So, RTFM. There we go, that's the torpedo doors deckled, so we can pop them over there to dry. Now for some more weathering. I'm using Tamiya's panel liner, dark brown for this. I've tried a few of my own concoctions which have been okay, but I've heard amazing stuff about this, so let's give it a try. I knocked one of the handles off here, so I'm just reattaching it with super glue. And that's the bulkhead done. Tell you what, that Tamiya panel liner sure is impressive stuff. I'm going to have to try to emulate that now. Anywho, sidetracked, we're panel lining the floor with said Tamiya panel liner, so here we go with that. There we have the floor done. As you could see, whilst the panel liner was still wet, we've dabbed it with a piece of tissue paper which left all those random marks. Give it a turn occasionally to change the marks it leaves. Now for the front bulkhead, so let's get that sorted. Next up we have the bunk area. Next, onto the roof. And there you go, a nice look at the roof. Then onto the winch. And now we're on to the torpedo tubes. I'm only going to be weathering the rear part of the tubes as the rest won't be on show, so let's carry on with those. Next up we have the underfloor torpedo storage area. On this part, I only weathered the bits that will be on show. Now, the torpedo doors. Next up, we have the bunks and the lockers. And now for the longest one, the torpedoes. Depending on how long this is, I'll probably cut it down, unless I make a huge mistake. There we have the torpedoes all done. I did say I'll cut it down as nothing untoward happened. Anywho, the electricery stage. Firstly, I've got to work everything out. Here I'm getting a battery and one of the bulbs out, and then we'll test them. Here the battery I'm using is a coin battery which is 1.5 volts, so it's safe to use on the lights without the capacitor, and then we're going to work out which leg is which colour and which is a positive. So during this we found out that the long leg is the positive line. It's about 1 centimetre longer than the rest, and after much research I found out that this leg is where we'll solder the capacitor to. Here we're working out the location, does it fit, and then finding that it doesn't and enlarging the holes to allow the lights to fit. that's the location holes for the lights all sorted out. Now to double check which leg is the positive, red LED and white LED. Once we're happy with this, then we can draw a diagram of the actual LED itself. Okay, now we have a good idea of which is where, we can draw the connections on the back of the LED. I tested several and found out they were laid out exactly the same. As you can see from my drawing above, the positive is top centre, the white is bottom left and the red is bottom right. This is where we put the pen down. We found that the resistor can go on positive or negative, but most people say to put it on the positive, so that's what we decided. This is where I'll probably get hammered, but this is how my brain works. I'm having the positive as the black cable. The red LED will be a red cable and the white LED will be a white cable. Yes, I know the standard is red is positive and black is negative, but this way round I know which light is which, and that's more important. So there we have our decision made. Now for a bit of dry brushing. When I'm dry brushing, I like to make my dry brush slightly moist. So I dip it in water, take the vast majority of the water off on a paper towel, dip it in the Citadel dry range Necron compound in this instance, take as much excess off as possible and give the part a good old rub. The reason for making it moist is that I found that it doesn't leave as many brush marks. Here I'm only dry brushing the areas where the crew would walk. So let's get it done. We also did the blankets on the cruise beds with lighter and lighter browns to highlight the high spots. Now, some of you may be wondering how I'm doing the lights. Well, here's how. I'm using blue stuff from Green Stuff World to make the moulds of the light. Only problem is I lost the footage of me making the moulds. Sorry. Anywho, I put clear UV resin in the moulds and set it using a UV torch. We also did any dials that needed lenses on. Then, once we'd done the resin in the moulds, gave them a quick flash with the UV torch, we popped the moulds outside as it was sunny, just to make sure. Next up, we're totting up how many lights we need for this section, 5 I believe. Then we'll get the relevant number of lights and resistors. Then we're going to mark up the LED legs, which are the red ones, using a red marker, obviously. We don't need to mark up the other two legs because the positive one is 1 centimetre longer, which means the other one is the white one. So let's get cracking. There we have the correct number of lights and resistors. We have our legs marked up and we know how we're going to solder them up. But we'll leave it there, and in the next episode finish off the torpedo room with more electricity, soldering, building and a bit of cable management. Anywho, thank you to Cornelia for this donation and to Salisbury Model Centre, as well as Models for Heroes for the support and assistance, and thank you to you for watching episode 3 of my build. If you want to see what happens in episode 4, then please subscribe to my channel, help it grow, like the video, leave a comment and ring my bell. Remember folks, stay safe, keep on modelling.